Fight the power. Power to the people. I would not have you guys think that you're out here for no reason. We're out here not to just look cute, make noise, get attention. We're out here to make change. We're out here to put everybody on notice that we're out here to make change. We're looking for policy change, sweeping reform across the whole gambit in every area of the American experiment called democracy. This whole institution needs an enema. We're talking about housing, we're talking about jobs, small businesses, we're talking about policing and education. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. We need to replace police officers with counselors. We need to stop criminalizing people with challenges, making them into criminals because they have the same challenges we all face, and actually address the challenges and the source of the challenges so we can address that, right? Whether it's homelessness, mental health, substance abuse, domestic abuse. We need to address the heart of these symptomatic issues. These are symptoms of what the actual issues are. And I think it was you that mentioned somebody had a bag placed over their head because they were naked, and it was obvious that the guy had real mental issues. Was that the one he tried to force him into the ambulance? Well, that was another. I can't even keep up with these police. Are like fast and furious. They're in a frenzy right now. I can't even keep up with them. But their days are numbered, and it's obvious the guy has some real issues here. So we need to address these things in our communities with the excessive overfunding that police departments get to profile us, brutalize us, and criminalize us. We need to take that money and address the severe lack of funding for these programs that our community so desperately need, and start implementing these programs to address homelessness, to address mental health and substance abuse, so these people can address the issues that prevent them from becoming wayward and then ultimately criminalized by the police for the sake of capitalism and privatized prisons. See, because in this country it's always been property over people. That's why those police officers are out there. They weren't there to help us and support us. They never are. They're not at any of our protests or rallies in support of us. They're the enemy. They're the antithesis of what we represent. We represent progression. They represent stagnation. We represent progress. They represent the status quo. They're the establishment. And we're anti-establishment. But that's okay, because Jesus was anti-establishment. Jesus was called everything under the book, a rebel rouser, and this should, evangelicals should be able to relate to this message, right? They're Christians, right? Jesus was a rebel. Jesus created chaos wherever he went. He upset the whole apple cart, the whole order as they knew it. He spread this radical message that all men are equal. But wait a minute. Just as unacceptable as it was back then in antiquity, 2,000 years ago, that's an unacceptable message for the establishment today, for America today, for white America today. Because in their eyes, when they said all men were created equal, they weren't including people of color. They weren't including indigenous people, obviously. They weren't including those of African descent, obviously. They weren't including Mexicans, boys and girls, obviously. They weren't including Japanese, Asians, of any, Middle Eastern, anybody of minority that is not European. They weren't considering them when they said all men are created equal. We know what they meant. We know what they mean. It's obvious. It's plain to see. But when I say all men are created equal, I mean what I say. That all men are created equal with unalienable rights. Given to us not by America, not by George Washington, not by John Adams, not by Thomas Jefferson, but by the Most High God himself, the maker of heaven and earth, the God of you, whether you believe it or not, whether you like it or not, the God of all flesh, the God of the universe, the God of the multiverse, right? We are made in his image. He determines my value, not American culture, not American media, not American fallacy, not just perpetuated lie of a master race, because we know that's a lie. They know it's a lie. But yet, to perpetuate this lie, they're willing to inflict the most hellacious carnage and vicious behavior the world has ever seen. And do it in the name of Scripture. The church defended slavery vehemently and crucified anybody who spoke out against that as their obligation. The American church said it was their obligation. This was the consensus among the American evangelical church. It is their obligation to defend slavery. But you see, I serve a God that never sleeps nor slumbers. And the Bible teaches that for the shedding of blood begats more shedding. And like I said at City Hall, historically, America confirms that. They prove it time and time and time again with this vicious, inhumane, aggressive, violent behavior. These, strong arm tactics, intimidation, militarization, martial law, right, of their people of color, of their minorities, genocide, slavery, incarceration, you name it. They've done it, or they're doing it. And I speak truth. I would not dare come up here and waste your time with fantastical stories or untruths. And I highlight these things, and I stress these things, and I point these things out so you understand that this is a problem that is very real. And it is not going to go away on its own. It has to be addressed again and 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 again. It has to be highlighted time after time after time after time after time after time after time for those hard-headed, indifferent, ignorant, racist, opportunists, and those who choose to divide us through politics, through fear-mongering, through hate-mongering. We have to continue to point it out and highlight it. That is the only, you have to, in order to defeat the enemy, you have to know him better than he knows himself. I know the enemy better than they know their self. And I'm not going anywhere. And that's a problem. But that's a good problem. Because I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to prevent genocide. That's what I'm here to do. That's more important to me. So we got a platform. Brother Gary's telling me, because I could go on and on and on. So we got to, trust me, we got a lot of work to do, and we're just getting started. It's called Project Hope, and it's going to impact every single area of every part of daily life that I just talked about to you people. Thank you. I love you.
That's the sound of the